not. Goodness gracious, this microphone. Oh man. Oh boy. Well, I'm back. Without Brandon. Brandon's first again. Not really. Coleman says, "You're up again, cool." Yo, I don't know. I don't know what happened. The stream dropped, and then I was still somehow streaming for some reason. But then I noticed the little banner on the top screen said that low connection, trying to reconnect, and I realized that I wasn't streaming to Minorca Home Solutions. Put that there. I was reading all the chats. I was just mostly on my phone trying to catch up with everybody's questions here. Yes, I'm back. Says my Mike Books, you're back. Thanks, buddy. Weird. So that was very odd. So can you guys hear me? Can you guys see me? Stephen Lee is here. Hey, William. William Logan's here. Stephen Lee, Brandon, Mike Bush, and oh, I missed. That's about it. So everybody else that left the chat. Oh crap! They left the chat. Really choppy feed, John. Yeah, I'm trying to figure what's going on here, buddy. Let me see. I think I got some windows that are open. Yep. Trying to take care of that right now. I don't know why it's choppy today. I don't know what's going on. I really don't. Now, it could be because, and I keep dropping this mic. I don't know why. Oh, man, this is annoying. Now I'm getting upset here. Come on. There we go. All right, you guys can see me now? How's that? Looks good. Just hired an electrician to fix the feed. I'm not an electrician. What are you talking about? I am an electrician. Oh, let me hold on a second, guys. I know I'm supposed to be live right now. Trying to see if it shows up on my phone. Let's go to my channel. All right. Okay. Looks like everybody's jumping in right now. We've got 6 viewers. 6 viewers. Looks good. Client just hired an electrician. Well, you're here now. So, raining in Pittsburgh. Really? It's raining in Petersburg. Petersburg. Not Pittsburgh. Petersburg. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, Stephen Lee. William Logan or the cable guy. Get it done. Maybe I'll hire Larry the cable guy and William Logan. That's funny. That's too funny. So, guys, so sorry about that. I had to restart the chat. Live stream, I meant. So, I gotta move my laptop just a little out. You know what I think it is? It's just that the connection to the wire is sort of loosening up. There it is. Or I could be getting interference from something here. Let me just check it out. Hold on, guys. Oh, move this back a little bit. There we go. So, I might be getting some sort of interference. The wire's a little loose. What's your favorite tape measure at Klein Guy John? Right now, my favorite tape measure is the Milwaukee stud. I'm really liking their tape measure. It's really sturdy, really tough. It's funny. I was just telling a story to King of the Crease about that when I met him over at Vince's at the Den before we started TTR. We're just hanging out in the studio, and we're just sort of chatting up, and I was telling him there was basically a tape measure on the table between me and King, and it was a 25-foot stud, and I was like, oh, just looking at it, and it's like this has got to be like the best tape measure around now because I was telling the story when I did the video. I was telling Nick the story too because he walked in and Nick, you know, walked in and he asked her, "Oh, you like that tape measure?" And I said, "Don't you have one of those?" I said, "Yeah, I have like two of these. I have the 16 foot and 25." And I was holding on to the 25, and I told him, "Well, I had the 16 foot at the time on the scaffold in Manhattan when I was putting up the unistrut in the shaftway in the elevator. And I dropped the 16-foot tape measure straight down the shaftway, and it fell straight down, and went back down there, and sure enough, it was still intact. It still worked. And because this thing has an 18-foot drop, you can drop it 18 feet, and nothing would happen to the tape measure. And but I was a little less than 10, 18 feet. I think I was about maybe 15 feet, 16, close to 18. And when it dropped, it just or 80-foot drop. I'm sorry, not 18, 80-foot drop. Minority Home Solutions. Thanks for correcting me on that. So it's rated for 80-foot drop, and I dropped it around 15 or 16 feet. Went straight down, and well, actually, it was a little more than that. I think it was about 25 feet. If I'm not mistaken, like 25 feet. I was like at least not even 25. What am I saying? I had to be, I believe, on the 6th floor. It was 10 floors up. If I'm not mistaken, 10 or I can't remember how many floors it was. It could have been like maybe eight floors, and I was on the 6th floor when I dropped it, and all I heard was like a tap, like the sound of it just like plastic hitting concrete, and then when I rushed down the ladder, it was just basically just fell, bounced on the opposite side of the shaftway, and I picked it up, and there was nothing wrong. It was still working great. Good team measure. They really did a good job with it. They really did. It's so choppy. I can see it from my end. So sorry, guys. It could be somebody. Oh man, nobody's on my Wi-Fi here. Got you on the replay, sir. Happy Sunday. Stephen Lee commented, so he'll check out this Q&A for replay later on. Let's see. I'm trying to open it. Problem with the server. That's weird. There's a problem with the server. There we go. There we go. Oh, there we go. Got it back. So, who did I miss here? It's raining here in Vermont as well and taking all the leftover snow with it. That's the best part about it, William Logan. When you get all that snow and it starts to rain, you don't got to shovel as much. Hey, everybody saying what's up? Yo again, Minority Home Solutions. How You Like Me Now says, I want a Milwaukee stud. One of their guys folded it and jumped on it without cracking. Whoa. Brand Lufkin Shock Force looks pretty nice. I'm trying Lufkin tape measures. I gotta look into their tape measures. See what their tape measure line is like. They do have, I believe Craftsman has if you guys remember, I did a video at the Sears over in Staten Island Mall. Craftsman has a tape measure that you can lean on its side and you can just, you know, basically take measurements on the side of the tape measure, which is pretty cool. Let's see. They need to mesh the stud with the mag tape. Stud plus mag tape equals the chisel. You know, that's what I believe they should do next with the stud. The stud's a really good tape measure. It's just missing the magnet. You just get a magnet on it like their other tape measures. I think it'll do really well in the market if they could put that in. I'm sorry guys, the camera's a little too high. Let me just lower the camera. Hold on guys. I don't know if that's gonna. Oh boy. There we go. All right, that's it. Right. So yeah, I was just saying they should definitely put they should definitely put a magnet on the studs. And maybe they will. I have a feeling that they're gonna start doing that. Yep, the sidewinder. I have the one. That sidewinder is nice though. Stephen Lee says I'm a Stanley tape fan. I think they're pretty good. Yeah, they're pretty good too. Stanley Fat Max, they're really popular in the trade. I see a lot of guys using the Stanley Fat Max, including the guys I work with. Other electricians, they still rely on that. It's a pretty tough tape measure, but it can only go so far. Depending on how you use it, how you take care of it as well. I like Stanley too. At Stephen Lee says Brandon. Oh, trusted Stephen Lee can't go wrong. Says Minorca Home Solutions. William Logan says I like the Craftsman Sidewinder for woodworking. I also have a Stanley Cobalt, a Bosch Stitch, and the Bosch Stitch sucks. Just remember, you don't endorse Stitch. Mike Bush says, yes, Stephen Lee, I like Stanley Fat Max. My Home Solution says fast cap tape measures. What's that? Fast cap tape measures. I gotta look into that. Try them out. I think I will. I want to try it out. Take a look at it. Yo, why is the stream still choppy? I want to know why. Why? Maybe if I just not move as much, because it looks like it's working if I don't move a lot. Let's see. Oh, okay. All right. So Mike Bush, Fast Cap has some really unique tapes, and they seem to last. Brandon says, I would like to see a double-sided Fat Max. You know, I I think every tape measure should be double-sided, and it doesn't matter which manufacturer makes them. They should just all double-side them. And they should have some features to the tape measure, like the architectural rule, like they did with the original the previous model of Milwaukee's tape measure, the 16 foot and 25 footers. They had the architectural rule where you can just use it on, have a scale of quarter 20, was it a quarter inch equals a foot and an eighth of an inch equals a foot type scale. And it's good for those the prints, your blueprints and stuff, and you're reading like this, the prints on your on the job site. They're really good and handy. And that's why I like if I'm using a stud. I mean, I know what a quarter inch equals a foot is, but I tend to take out the magnetic 16 footer with that architectural rule in the back of it, and just use that. It's very helpful. Very helpful. Fast cap. I like the auto like fast caps and unique tape. I would like to see a double-sided tape fat, and we said that, or we read that already from Brandon. William Lowe says, I like the auto lock feature on tapes. Yeah, auto lock features are pretty convenient. They should have done that with the stud. They do have a Milwaukee tape measure that does that too. It has the auto lock feature, which is pretty cool, but it doesn't have like the features like the fractions and the architectural rule, and it's not double sided. It's things like that we tradesmen like have a demand of, those special features that we don't have to keep digging in our tool bags to look for a separate accessory to do our measurements and reading the prints, having a special tool to read the prints. Chameleon is good. Chameleon is a good tool. Chameleon is good too. Used to be at Lowe's. Yo, Chameleon is a good product too. I agree on that. Minorca Solutions. Really, no reason not to double side. Mike Bush, I have them all. I have them, and they hold up well. Yo, that's what's up. Brandon says, I agree. Double sided should be an industry standard. It should. It really should. Mike Bush says, I have two fast caps and have lasted over 20 years, and I'm hard on my tools. Yo, did they break? Like, I mean, what's the longest? You guys tell me, what is your longest running tape measure that you have that you still use today? I want to know. Leave it in the comments right now. There's an auto lock Fat Max. Fat Max is making a lot of Stanley Fat Max is making a lot of good features on their tape measures too. I don't doubt their. I mean, they've been around for years. Stanley's been around for years, so I don't doubt their potential quality in their tools. So that's a long time. Eddie Smallhorn is here. Hey, at Klein Guy John. What's up, Eddie Smallhorn? How's it going? How's Christina doing? Stephen Lee metric would be nice on a Fat Max. Yo, they do sell a metric Fat Max tape measure. You gotta really look. The Home Depot I go to sells them, but they don't sell a lot of them. They have like just like one little small section on the shelf next to the other Fat Maxes where they sell, but it's only 16 foot. They don't sell 25 or 35 like their other Fat Maxes. But I'm not sure about your location, your Home Depot locations, or any other big box stores that you guys have. They may or may not sell them. I don't know. So you're gonna have to check with your supply houses or check online. Look online as well. HomeDepot.com should have them. Or go on Amazon, eBay. Check them out. See what you can get. I need to check that out at Brandon. I need another one. Hey, yeah, Eddie Smallhorn, how you doing? So everybody's saying what's up to each other. William Krause is here. Sorry, a little late. Send up the deep fryer to make some fried chicken, but I'm here now. That's what's up, man. How You Like Me Now says my longest running tape is about 10 months. William Logan says I have an old Stanley. It's about 20 years old. Whoa. Wow, that's a long time, Willie. Eddie Smallhorn says, yo, at Brandon, doing good. Finally getting some rest. Brandon, how you doing? William Krause. Everybody saying what's up again. Eddie Smallhorn, William Logan. Mike Bush has a little bit of everything taken care of. Rental properties, retired now, and mostly woodworking and home repairs for myself and family. That's what's up, Mike Bush. Mike Bush, what do you do for a living? I want to know. What trade are you in? Stephen Lee says, cool. William Logan says, all good here, Eddie. Ace Moore says, thank you, Ed Brandon. How are you doing? Stephen Lee says, I will look for that. Thanks, John. You said it, buddy. It doesn't, it won't hurt to look, pal. You'll find what you need. You really will. Another home says, Krause. Brandon says, good. Eddie Smallhorn did some work in the yard and watched some baseball today. Nice. Good day today for you. William Logan says, sounds familiar at Mike Bush. No rental props anymore, though too much hassle with the renters. Yeesh. Let me tell you guys, it must be tough for guys who live out in Vermont, especially. And as William Logan says, it's kind of hard to even get an electrician out there or any type of contractor. I mean, it must be tough. Renters are tough to deal with. See, that's the thing about renters, especially here in New York. You either have they're either renters that are such a pain to landlords, like good landlords. I mean, you can have a good landlord, but you also have a bad like tenant or renter or so forth. I'm sorry, a tenant, and or you can have a good tenant and a bad landlord. I believe here in New York, it's very hard to find a good landlord. I have my landlord. She's the sweetest person. She's very very caring. Landlord. She checks in on us once in a while, you know, and I've been through landlords where they were like they're really sketchy and very like basically like slumlords. You get a lot of them here, but very rare you'll find a good landlord, which I'm very fortunate to have. Let's see. I lose a couple of tapes a year. Stephen Lee says I lose a couple of tapes a year due to damage, or sometimes they walk away. Whoa! It means it ain't just walking away; someone's walking with it. William Logan says that was in Virginia back in the late '90s at Klein Guy John. I sold all three rentals. Too many kids renting and tracking props. Did I read that right? Eddie Morris says I have had my share of bad renters. Whoa. Whatever home solution, my kids need to pay rent. Oh, they're 9 and 5. Their form of payment for rent should be like throwing out the garbage and mowing the lawn, Minorca. Well, Locust says back then it was harder to do background checks since the since the net since the internet wasn't really up then. And I can only imagine it was, yeah, it was pretty tough back in those times because you know renters and landlords, especially landlords, had to like really try to always. I mean, I heard back in the day they would just drive up to your home, knock on your door if you missed a payment, you know, and they just knock on your door and say, "Hey, when am I gonna get my, when the rent's gonna come in? You owe me the rent." And no landlord wants to do that, especially a good landlord. They don't want to drive up to the tenant, knock on their door every every week just to get their money. You know, it's why they came up with background checks. You know, so let's see here. Who did I miss? Who did I miss? Back in there was harder than it feels. Mayoka says feels longer. I'm in rental business. It's a nasty line of work, says Stephen Lee. Whoa, yikes. Mayoka says I want my grass to live. Mike Bush says best lesson I learned: don't rent to family or friends. Oof. Yeah, I mean, it's not really a good idea. I've heard stories about people who are landlords. I know like this guy who's uh who's not only a landlord, he's also a super. But it's tough to like maintain or keep up with the tenants. And he was just telling me like, dude, sometimes they don't take care of the place. Like you before you even rent it out, it's like I'll hook up the place up, really nice, take pictures or whatever before and after. And like the before pictures will look beautiful, and then the after pictures will look just horrendous because it's like they don't take care of the place, and then they want to turn around and say, well, it was like that when I moved in. Come on, really? I mean, you got tenants like that, people who rent to you, like they'll just say, oh yeah, it was like that. There was a big hole there. That was there before. Even before I was living there. Come on, pictures are worth 1,000 words. So, if those of you who are like landlords and renting out to people who like couples, families, and whatnot, take pictures. Take pictures of the property that you're renting out to before you rent them out to anyone. Make sure everything's all, your electrical, your plumbing, if you got air conditioning, heating, make sure that's up to par. Make sure the gas line in your stove is not like leaking, kinked. If you got a water line going to your ice maker and refrigerator that's there, if it's furnished kitchen, make sure that's up to good. That's up to par as well. Doorbells are working. Or intercom. If you got an intercom, make sure it's working. Make sure all the lights are working. If you got electric heat, make sure the electric heat's working, or the boiler system's working, hot water heater's working. You got to make sure all of those things are up to par because otherwise, the person you're renting is not going to want to move in. Or if he does move in, you don't tell them that everything's up and running good, and they don't have heat for the winter, or their hot water's not working, or or the doorbell system not working because they're missing their packages or whatever. You got to keep up to because then it's just going to become a headache for you as a landlord to just go back down there and just fix it. I mean, and I know it deals with a lot of money. There's a lot of money involved into maintaining a property, and it could be very. Hold on, I just missed something. Somebody just notified me of something here. I skipped through it. Yeah, so it could be very difficult to maintain property that you're renting out to, and I can understand why that is. And some tenants tend to damage things and claim that they don't. It wasn't like that. It's always good to even video record like how things are working. Oh, the sink's working fine, the heat's working fine. Hot water, get hot water. Take a thermometer or infrared gun. Make sure all the heat's on. Be specific as you can And then this is my opinion. Be specific as you can before you're renting a apartment or home. Record and take pictures because you want to have proof that once the tenant like lease is up, when they plan to leave, once the lease is up, you want to go in after they move out and make sure everything's still working the way it was working before. Before you rented it out to them, because they can just turn around and say, "Well, I was there like that." And well, you got photos, you got video footage, show it to them and say, "Well, this was working, that wasn't like that, this was working. You got your hot water, you got your heat, then they have to be. Then you can just hold on to their security deposit, you know, just for that. You use that to repair the issues, but or if they don't want to, if they want their security deposit back and they're fighting you for it, you take them to court and you have your evidence. There you go. Always have to have some proof and a backup plan. Some insurance. Oh boy, I missed a lot of people are commenting like crazy. I can't. I'm trying to keep up, guys. So stay with me here. Okay, so everybody here, I read that. Everybody was saying, "What's up, Eddie Smallhorn?" Everybody saying, "What up, to Eddie Smallhorn?" I lose a couple of tapes a year. Read that. I would not get into any business with family, says Eddie Smallhorn. Oh, yeah, it's not. It's not good. I mean, it could work with some families, some, not all. William Logan, I never did at Mike Bush, mostly professional and grad students. I still had problems though, too much of a headache and having to work full time on top of it. Ooh, it must have been really tough, Willie. It must have been really tough. Matty G's here. Yo, everyone in KGJ. Tough luck on the Bauer Power last last Friday. Nice hat. No, thanks, bro. But yeah, the Bauer didn't hold up against the Hercules, so the Hercules was the victor at Friday's TTR. Okay, I'll be back in a bit. Yo, we'll still be here, Micro Home Solutions. Don't worry about it, Wheel Row. William Krause says, I work for a company in upstate New York. We were the ones that had a victim for the real estate company and fixed everything they messed up. Yeah, you see what I mean? Wow, that must have been a trip. William Loeb says, all the properties I owned were condos and townhouses that I rented out. They had HOAs, which were almost more of a pain in the butt than the renters. Well, man, I can only imagine. Mike Bush says, I still can't believe the stuff renters stole when moving out, including a bathroom sink, electrical fixtures, anything. Always, that's another thing. Always keep in mind when you're taking pictures, take pictures of everything that you installed. Receipts, keep everything that you have done in that apartment or home. Because they will walk away. Some people walk away with toilets. Heard stories about the tenant moved out and when the landlord showed up there was no toilet. The toilet was gone. I don't know what that. Why would they want to take a toilet? I don't know why. William Krause, play some tennis. Don't ever has nothing. You just have deadbeat landlords, devil's advocate. Okay. William Logan, I never had a problem at my bush, just damaged fixtures and appliances that had to be replaced. Yeah, you can get that. That happens. Ugh. Ooh, sorry. How you like me else is that Mike Bush, when I was doing cable installs, I seen more than a few places where they rip out the coax and phone line. That's a lot of money because then you got to bring down somebody to rerun those wires, pull them out, rerun them, and not even. I believe that would even cause to like have to punch holes and cut open the walls just to run their wires. It's even more money. Stephen Lee, photos and contracts have little value in Pennsylvania or Ohio when you go to court. Generally, the property owner is hit with all expenses. A tenant can generally do a lot of damage and walk away. Wow, really? Then there's something wrong with the court systems over there. Then definitely something wrong. Either that they just don't want to deal with it. The courts don't want to deal with it. It's a waste of their time. But what I think they probably want to do is just go after bigger cases. They don't want to go after cases like that, and that's a shame because you're taken advantage of. You know, it's a shame. Stephen Lee, yep, it's Stephen Lee. Stephen Lee, I have 20 years experience with tenants. Mike Bush, you're right, Stephen Lee. I'm in Southwest Ohio. Landlords are out of luck. Wow, that kind of blows. That's not right. They should change all that then. Brandon, later, everyone. Have a good night. Yo, have a good night, Brandon. How you like me now? Says, see ya, Brandon. Logan says, I only did it for 5 years and sold my props and still made money after renovations. Yeah, not bad. Stephen Lee says, also, if taxes are not paid, the owner, or as I like to call them, primer property tenant, according to the tax department, the property owner loses everything. Oh, you're not kidding. Really? That's crazy. Maddie G says later, Brandon. Good night, Brandon, says Stephen Lee. So, here's the thing. Minorca, aka Wilro, he just premiered Fire Core Laser Level. Just got the notification. So here's the thing, guys. If you guys want to see, always pay taxes on time and association's fees as well. William Krause says, I worked out Horseheads, New York. That had to be upstate then, William. So here it is. So, oh man. So, anyways, guys. So we were all just talking about property owners and property damage and so forth. Now, sorry, let me just fix this cord here. Okay, the stream is alright. So let's talk about now the Bower. I actually want to get into the Bower. Actually, so some of you have been asking about how the Bower is. Now, let me actually go grab it. I'm supposed to have it here. I didn't bring it with me. Not even sure where I put it. Actually, let me bring it up with me right now. Hold on. Ow! Shoulder. There it is. Yeah, that's it. That's that heat for the program. Oh, I'm not knock over the microphone like I did before. So here it is. Now, the reason I believe this drill pretty much lost against the Hercules is because of its RPMs, of course. For drill, at drill mode, will be 450 RPMs, and then for a low speed, I'm sorry, for speed 1, it was only from 0 to 450 RPMs, and then speed 2 was 0 to 1700 RPMs, meaning the Hercules had a lot more RPMs than the Bower, and had the advantage of getting all the screws in a lot quicker, and it's just basically had its 5.0 amp hour battery, where the Bower has a 3.0 amp hour battery. I haven't seen a 5.0 amp hour battery for this drill. I had to buy the battery separate because the drill comes in a kit where you get a rapid charger. Supposedly it's a rapid charger, as it's on the label here. And you get a 1.5 amp hour battery, which is right here. Get the 1.4, yeah. Willie Logan says, return it, John, and either get your money refunded or exchange it for the Hercules. I don't know. I'm thinking about either keeping it or exchanging it for the Hercules, because the Hercules is a nice drill. It's a nice drill. It's really good. The Bower, however, is only, I feel, is only good. Its best potential is in hammer drill mode. That's it. I haven't tried the screwdriver mode yet. Look, maybe I'll probably test it out on a job site one day. and see how it works. Drilling screws. When do rough-ins. I'll check it out, see how it works. I'll hold it for a while because I have about what, like 90 something days or so, 160 days for it to be returned. So it is a lithium ion battery, and it's brushed. It's not a brushless. And Hercules was the same way. I don't think Hercules has any brushless tools, not that I recall. But the Bauer doesn't either. Um, what I like about this is that this kind of reminds me of the Gen 3 in a way because it has the little light down below to light up your work. And this clutch goes all the way to 21. And you have the three options of a hammer drill, the screwdriver mode, and then you got your drill mode. So I felt in TTR we should have, if we were going to drill in like drywall screws, we could have used the drill screwdriver mode, which went a lot better. It would have probably, let's see, you got speed 1 and speed 2. You can do it on speed 1 and speed 2, juggle in between. Who knows? I mean, maybe one of these days Vince would, consider, doing his TTRs that way, like, oh, switch gears from drill mode to screw to self tappers and drywall screws, or the SPACs on drill mode. I mean that, in different clutches, or either that, do it on the highest clutch, and then when you do on speed, a high speed or whatever, and then the lowest clutch on low speed. See how you do it. It's up to him, and it's his TTR. But I think, my opinion, and we're all entitled to opinions, maybe he could consider doing that. And we'd like to see that. I mean, why not test the hammer drill in all three of its modes? See how well they do. See what does best. But what this drill comes with, obviously, comes with just one battery, and you got the charging indicator here, so you have to basically, like the DeWalt, you hold it on to the button to see what charge you have. And you have the work light, you got your locking mechanism. It even came with the belt clip where you have to put it together. It didn't come with it on, so you have to basically put it together. It also came with I believe it's a 3/4 inch, quarter-inch flathead, and Phillips as well, number 2 Phillips. I think, yeah, here it is, right here. It comes in a little bag, so you got more like a 3/16 Phillips flathead, and you have a number 2 Phillips. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool that it comes with the drill. The bag is pretty cool too. It's a nice bag. It reminds me of the Ryobi. So you see the inside there. The compartments are similar to the Ryobi. But the bag is pretty. It's a soft bag. It's not too bad. I like the bag. It says Bauer right on it. Not too bad at all. It did, when I used it on TTR, it did started getting the grease, the oil, or lubricant, I say the motor lubricant started spilling through the front of the Jacobs steel chuck. If you guys want to see that video, I'll post a link right here, so you guys can watch that video at me being at TTR, Bauer versus Hercules. Other than that, guys, I mean, it's not. I wouldn't recommend, like I said, to bring it into the construction site. It's not meant. I don't believe it's meant for a construction site. It's more like a DIYer, like a first DIYer drill with a hammer drill mode on it. So basically, if you want to, like, I don't know, you got a brick wall at home, you want to mount or put in a box for a light, you got your hammer drill mode to put in your anchors and screws. It's a 2-speeder. I mean, the weight is not so bad, just a little bit heavier. It's a little heavier with the 3.0. And with the 3.0, I mean, like I said, when I went to Harbor Freight, I didn't see a 5.0 amp hour battery. This is the biggest that they have. To my knowledge, is what the biggest that they have. It's 54 watt hour battery. Let's see. Try to keep. It says keep dry. Do not open, drop, short circuit, incinerate, expose temperature higher than 140 degrees Fahrenheit, or charge/use if damaged. Okay. And you see, Nick even pointed it out at TTR that the battery indicator button is starting to peel off the sticker. So once in a while, I have to push it down to sort of stick. And another thing, I come to find out that this light stays on. It doesn't like really disappear like with the other like Milwaukee and DeWalt. Like it doesn't flash or anything. It just stays on. So you still got that residual charge. So what I did, I let this drill run. I put a tie wrap. You see the tie wrap is there. I let it depress the button for it to run. And it took a while for it to die, but it still has a residual energy. Look, the battery's actually supposed to be dead, but it still has a slight charge, like left over. It's a little interesting, but I guess it could be convenient too if you're like, you have that drill and you have that feature where it's just like, oh yeah, I want to drill and my battery's dead, and you just wait like a minute or two, and you'll still have like a residual charge. Like it basically just recharges on its own, or for a few percentage of juice left that you can use. So, but I wouldn't recommend it, like I said, to a commercial site. It's not meant for that. It's funny. Do you think it could take on the Black and Decker? Wow, that's a good question, Matty G. Black and Decker. Black and Decker is more of a DIY tool. I don't. It used to be a commercial type tool when they started coming out with a commercial type Black and Decker drill, but not anymore. Yeah, I think it could take on a Black and Decker. It might just take it down. Judging by what Black and Decker power tools does, it might just blow it away. Does it still run after TTR? It still does, William Krause. Mike Bush says the Bauer looks a lot like the Black and Decker I saw at Tools Direct Store. I'm not sure which Black and Decker it might be compared to, but I'll take a look at that if I have time. Yeah, I guess I'll look into it later on. Matty G says I agree with Mike Bush. Stephen Lee says William, the state is the true owner. If the primary tenant fails to pay the tax for any reason, also is lost. Period. All is lost. Period. Oh wow, that's crazy, man. That is wild. William Logan says I included the property taxes with rent, and I paid the prop tax association fees, HOAs, and quarterly for the taxes. Peace. It's a lot of money. Yeah, you got one. Conan Studio, he's back. I guess it's working now. I was too busy watching Sexy Cyborg. She's a technology geek girl from China. Oh boy. Look at every state has a different landlord laws, and I had a lawyer on retainer and a tax accountant for any issues. Wow. Yo, my Wheel Roll's back. William Logue, Coneyman Studio. William, how you doing? But I have a lot of problems with my phone. Sometimes I leave a message and my phone will die. Let's see. Will I'm sorry I didn't answer you. My phone locked up. Sorry about that. I'm doing okay. Coneyman Klein guy, have you ever dealt with shielded wire? I have. We when it comes to fire alarm, yes. If you are dealing, let's say, if you're doing fire alarm systems, or if you're doing low voltage systems like I'd say like maybe Cat 6, some Cat 6 wire, depending on the application or the equipment. Some Cat 6 have a heavy shield around it to prevent residual interference. That way, you have a smooth connection on the internet or your data or your phone lines and stuff. But yeah, with shielded cable, when it comes down to fire alarm, we use the if we're basically have like equipment like horn strobes with their own terminals, like horn strobe terminals in and out, positive, negative, and positive, negative for the strobe. What we would do is that since the strobe requires 24 volts for it to work, we will run the 14 gauge wire for 24 volts, and we will run 16 gauge shielded, single pair shielded wire for the in of the terminal for the horn or the speaker, and then the out. Basically, it wouldn't be called a horn; it would be called a speaker because you have an audible enunciator on the other end. Basically, you have a phone, a microphone on the enunciator where you can make an announcement during an emergency situation where the person will pick up the phone and it will activate all the speakers with the strobes in all the tenants or on the floors and let them know there's an emergency or if there's a test or they're conducting a test for the fire alarm system. So that's why it's only like my experience in New York City. Whenever they do that or installing an annunciator for emergency purposes to announce an emergency for tenants to leave the building, due to a fire or emergency situation, um, we would have to run, we're required to run 16 shielded single pair to come into its own terminals on a combination speaker strobe connected to the strobe terminals in and out, and so that way the 24 volts will not interfere with the wiring of the speaker strobe. Now, what I like to do is I like when I'm stripping the jacket, I like to keep the shield around the wires as much as close as much as possible, so that way it doesn't. When you strip the jacket and you pull back the shielding, you're still going to have the 24 volts, basically 24 volts and your 16 shielded. Whereas now it's peeled back and it's not shielded, you'll still have the residual interference. Okay, what I like to do is keep that aluminum shielding around it, pull it back, connect it, then rewrap it to the point where it's not touching copper or the metallic part of the terminal. Yeah, well, you get that added on protection. Now, you don't have to necessarily do that, but I like to do it as a precaution because sometimes you do get that interference and you'll have like a crackling or like a buzzing, screeching noise when they're trying to test the equipment. And that tends to happen. Or sometimes, or if you can get equipment where it cancels out that noise. They have a built-in combination horn strobe or a speaker strobe where they have a built-in um, it's like a prevention device where it prevents interference across terminals and wires, so that way the 24 volts magnetic interference doesn't interrupt um, the electrical energy signal coming for the horn strobe or speaker. It's kind of hard to explain, but I don't know if I explained it well enough for you guys. To you, if you know, but if you know that if there's a reason why that happens, if you have any other information about that I don't know, then let me know in the comments. I missed everyone's comments here. Hold on, let me just check it out on the app. Does anyone the Black and Dead quantum tools? William Krause says, "Do you use Cat 5 or Cat 6?" We use both. We use both. Um, we use typically we would use Cat 5 for like residential. You can use Cat 6, but Cat 5 is is less expensive. As in Cat 6e is a little more expensive because Cat 6e is more in demand of like commercial, like offices and businesses and such, because it has a faster rate of connections, like how do you call them, uh, BPS, bits per second. Um, you can have a faster rate on that because it boosts the um, the signal coming from the router or the modem back to the equipment a lot faster, and it's much cleaner. So right now, what I'm using, I believe, is a Cat 6, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think it is actually. It's 26 AWG. No, it's a Cat 5e that I'm using. So I'd rather switch it to Cat 6 because it wouldn't be so choppy right now, to be honest. So maybe I'll switch up the Ethernet wire later when I'm done here, guys. Client guy, you ever dealt with you? Oh, no, we read that already. But yes, with Cat 5, we use sometimes residential, or if we can, we'll use Cat 6. You know, whatever whatever we can use. We can use either or. But most of the time, we use Cat 6e for commercial because you got to have high speed connections when making phone calls and sending emails and such. So it's just better that way. You want everyone to have a good service. Let's see. We know we're supposed to get the tax. I think I read that already. Sounding bass with strobe. Yes. Well, no. Sounding bass with strobe. Now the sounder bass, in my experience, sounder bass require 24 volts for the sounder bass. Um, if it's just a regular smoke detector, you use 16 gauge unshielded for data. You can use 14 gauge for 24 for the sounder bass, for the bass to energize, to send 24 volts to energize with sound because some sounder bass require 24 volts. And then the sound would come off of a data wire, which is 16 gauge unshielded. You can still use 16 gauge unshielded. Now it comes down to a speaker strobe. Now horn strobes are quite different. Horn strobes meaning it gives off a loud sound, like a signal, a loud screeching sound to let everyone know there's an emergency. Now for speaker strobe does the same thing. It also makes an audible sound, but what it really does is it'll you can also use as a speaker down to the annunciator. The annunciator provides a microphone, and you can inform people in the occupied building, saying that there's an emergency. You can make an announcement saying evacuate the building, blah blah blah. That's another option. But it's primarily for that as well, for both sound and speaking. Um, you have an annunciator where when it doesn't have a microphone on the annunciator, then you would have to use a combination horn strobe, an audible horn. Um, now that yes, you still have to use shielded cable. It's required by code somewhere. But here in New York City, it's required by code. Horn strobes, you use 16 gauge shielded and not unshielded. Unshielded would be used for data, like for smoke detectors or sounder bases. Um, when it comes down to that data as well, you have to also with sounder bases. Yes, actually, you do have to use shielded for sounder bases because it's data and 24 volts. Because the 24 volts is what basically gives off. Um, it provides power for the LEDs on the devices, smoke detectors, with the sounder base. It provides electrical current, 24 volts, and then you have your data coming in to basically read out the addressable device and send a signal back to the command station, letting them know, like, okay, there's a fire in this location. This is where smoke was detected at this location. It started here, go there. That's basically what it's telling you. Who else asked me a question here? Should have said then. William looks I suppose since Steve Lee would have problems with solar properties and I think I read all this. Highlighting this is Klein guy. John, I was hooking up a fire alarm system on a National Guard base before. it had emergency announcements too. For whatever reason, certain announcements had to be in a female voice. That's just how it's programmed. Um, a lot of times you have equipment where you're ordering the equipment, let's say for like an annunciator and fire command station, they would have the vendor would have the option of, or you would have the option to ask the vendor, can we get a male voice or a female voice or both? You can program it from the fire command station to switch the voices. It's very rare to see them like that, but most of the time it's like in New York City we have enunciators that give off, like the fire command station will give off signals to the horns, the speaker strobes to be in a female voice. It's just more, I don't know. It's just like that. It is what it is. But then you have some systems that you can switch between male and female. It's very rare here in New York City, but if there are systems, then that's pretty cool. You can do that. You can basically set whatever you want to set on the system. I like Michelle says, and others had to be male. So funny. I mean, it's what's required. Whatever they want is what they get. Matty G says, giving all clear sounds better from a female voice. I Like Me Now says, it was something like intruder alert was male, fire or active shooter was female. I don't know, but I mean, that's just how they do it. I guess it's more of like a. I guess in a sense, it's more like the male would say intruder alert. Like it makes it more alarming, and then it makes it more calm if the female says that we have a shooter in the area. Basically, she's trying to say keep calm during this emergency situation because you don't want people to panic. But eventually people do panic. But a lot of, I guess from a study group, maybe they did a study group about it, or maybe they experimented where they got a group of people in one room and thought, okay, let us know what you think about this alert sound, and they played the male alert sound saying intruder alert, and people were more attentive and more like, okay, we got to get out of here type situation. Whereas when they use a female's voice, I guess it's more relaxed and calm to hear a female tell you we have a shooter in the area. It's more like when she says it, it's like you got to keep calm. She's trying to tell you keep calm, relax, go to your nearest exit or nearest stairway to leave the premises, or yeah, just basically try to keep people calm. When it comes to a male's voice, it's more like, okay, guys, get out. We got to go. This is emergency. I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they do group studies on stuff like that. They wouldn't just put it in there for like the heck of it, or to be biased in any way. So I thought Cat 5 was outlawed because of toxic smoke that it gives when it burns, but I'm I, I might be mistaken. Never had Cat 5 burn out and cause smoke here. I mean, unless you're like the type that likes to burn wires and stuff or short circuit stuff, then I guess. But other than that, I mean, we never had problems with Cat 5. Cat 5 was a big thing back in the time here in New York City, and when they came up with Cat 5 with Cat 6E, it was just more of a smoother. You get a more smoother connection on your internet. Like if I was doing this stream right now. Right now I'm using Cat 5E, not Cat 6E. If I was in Cat 6E, it'll be a little bit of much better stream. By the way, I'm probably gonna just switch it out when I'm done doing this. But let's see. Not sure what state you own the properties. I don't know what rental properties. William Krause, I've never heard that. They still sell it. It doesn't have the speed of a Cat 6 at further distance. Now, I don't know what do you mean by the Cat 5? It has better speed than the Cat 6E further. Are you talking about what you or me put on William? So, Coleman, how many Williams will we have at the end of the show taking bets now? I don't know, buddy. I wonder how many do we have? Maddie G says, "You got that right. People always panic even when it's not an emergency. Happens." I'm the conqueror one at Coleman Studio. Ha. William Krause says, "William Logan, if you don't hear me, if you don't hear from me on the 19th or after my son is being born on that day, you guys are funny. You guys are so funny. Oh man. Oh wait, I just skipped through all this stuff. Hold on a second. Congrats at William Krause. You're first." Codeman says, "Logan, you're the only Wolverine. There's other Williams." So, you guys have any other questions? Maybe I can answer about. Let me see. I'm reading some of you guys' chats right now. Wow, it's just crazy how you guys have to deal with stuff like that, about property management and renters. That's why they call that's why they have renters insurance as well. You know, so you're the only one. I read that already. Rental is getting worse and insurance is getting rough. My business is likely to adjust in the next couple of years. I do more service work now and it's likely to increase. Wow, that's tough, man. That's really tough. And these insurance companies don't really, they don't really care. They claim to know, they claim to care, but they just want your money. And then if something happens, and yeah, you get you're insured, but to what extent are you insured? Because you can have your whole house burned down and have insurance for it and get it all fixed up, but then you got the insurance companies where they try to like kind of smooth their way in talking, not fixing everything and not insuring you all the way through, and they want you to be like, well, we can only give you an X amount of money, X amount of dollars, and you got to pay the rest of it or a percentage of it, where they know clearly in their agreement contract that you put your name on and what you read that you're paying full insurance, you're gonna get everything to get. I mean, it's just I've seen and heard things like that happen, especially with my best friend whose house nearly burned down, and his parents went out and had, well, luckily they were insured, so but they tried to kind of like get them to pay for some things, and they weren't having it because it was like, okay, well, our agreement says, we pay the full amount. We did. You have to come up with your end. So they tried to breach the agreement, which when they pointed that out to them, they didn't, and they decided like, okay, we'll give you what you want because that's what we agreed on. They try to be sleek. These insurance companies try to be very like tricky and manipulative too. They try to convince you to like pay for something that you know clearly states in their contract that you paid a full amount of, and now it's up to, and it's like it's now on their like it's them for them to like basically insure you on everything that you pay for. So a lot of that's going on too. I mean, it's ridiculous. So client guy, where does the shield wire go? Do you know? The shielded wire. Are you talking about like the little, like the metallic thin wire that's inside the jacket? Or are you talking about the shield itself, like the foil wrapping of it? Now, if you're looking for like the shield, like the metallic wire shield, that will be normally a ground. If the equipment requires a ground, you tie that in on whichever end. Like one device says needs a ground, you have that metallic thin wire in your single pair or your two pair wire conductor in the jacket, and you just connect it. If it's foil, you don't connect the foil. The foil is not a ground; it is a shield to protect it from interference. You keep that wrapped around your wire. I recommend keeping around wrapped around the wire as you terminate. a lot of guys say, "Oh, you don't do that. You need to pull it back." Well, if you pull the foil wrap back, then you're not protecting that exposed wire from interference. You get what I'm saying? Like I I tend to just pull it back, make my terminations, and then rewrap the wires back, at least to protect it as much as possible. Let me see. My Norco Home Solution says I'm listening. My home is insured for 3 times the amount. Whoa, you're good. Without the contents, seems like my brother's home right now. Without the contents, then contents, but is but low too. I actually think parano personal content is more than home. I'm not sure what you what you meant by that. Weirdo. Give me 1 second, guys. What just happened? Okay. Oh man, my stream is really choppy without the contents. I actually think paranormal the contents. Okay, William Logan. Yes, my first. That's awesome. Same here, Will. My contents are worth more than my actual structure. I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready. I don't know. I hope so. What else is with it? So William Krause. Good luck on you, William Krause. I wish you and your family the best. There you go. So going back to Conan Man Studios, if you're listening, that one thin, like I said, the one thin metal wire, when it comes down to fire alarm, if you see that thin silver wire, we normally use that as a ground. If the equipment requires a ground wire, we would tie that in or into a lug in some way. Um, so that's basically what it's for. Sometimes it's used for ripping the jacket off to get more of the wire exposed out of the jacket that's protecting. So, but I would, if you're not using it, just wrap it around the jacket of the wire. So it could be used later in the future if equipment is swapped over and requires a ground. You have that metallic wire wrapped around it. You can use it as a ground. So that's it, buddy. That's all I know so far in my knowledge. Klein guy, and always should go to ground. That's how you get rid of the interference. I used to have rows of terminal blocks. There you go. John, with business rental insurance, it's best to have an attorney that you have a good relationship with. Set up the insurance with the insurance company. Most agents are not looking out for you. There you go. That's the whole thing. That's what I was trying to get to. That's what I was trying to say. They don't have your back. They always want to get more out of you. You know. Let's see. Of course, Godspeed, mate. Matty G says, "Good night, everyone. Catch you next time. Thanks for the chat and fire alarm info, Klein Guy John. Yo, you bet, buddy. You bet it. You bet. You bet. You're welcome, buddy. And don't set off any alarms. Just kidding. Are you talking about the drain wire inside of a speaker cable? The drain wire inside of a speaker cable. No, what I mean is in the fire alarm, some fire alarm wire, especially here in New York City, would have them like a little strand, like a silver wire. It's basically stranded wire, braided up. And what we do with that wire, if we're connecting, let's say a horn strobe, combination horn strobe, and the combination horn strobe has a lug, a small little terminal that says G on it, which means ground, we will connect that silver wire to ground. It's very rare to see it, but if it's not in that device, then what we do with that wire is we wrap it around the jacket for future use in case they want to swap it out and use one that requires a ground. And it has a terminal block in there that says G for ground, and we use it. So but it's already grounded. You already have the fire alarm basically grounded to the equipment ground that it requires on the fuse disconnect. And then from the fuse disconnect, what we do is we run another ground wire from the fuse disconnect that's grounded to the fuse disconnect ground lug or ground bus bar, and we run it to the fire alarm command station, the main fire alarm command station panel, or what we call the DGP, data gathering panel. And we'll have like a little lug in the bottom, somewhere in the bottom of the panel, have a lug for ground. You just connect it to there, and then everything from that point on will be grounded. What we'll then do is from one of the wires there will be grounded. Sorry, one of the wires. What am I saying? Sometimes what we'll do is we'll take that silver wire from one of the fire alarm wires we bring into the panel, and we'll just ground it to that. So, how are you talking about the channel? I read that. Good night, Matty G. Have a great week. Later, Matty G. Comment says, Klein guy, I've landed more shielded wire and control panels and I like the count. Well, it must have been a lot of panels, buddy, you installed. It's interesting. So, oh my gosh, let me stretch over here. Ow. Oh, guys. Ooh. So, Stephen Lee, John. Oh, I just missed his comment. I don't know what you said. Did I read that? Oh, I read that already. Okay. So, I hope you guys enjoyed TTR because I had a lot of fun. We had a grand old time over there. Do you have a short week this week, John, with Good Friday? No, I'll be working this Good Friday. I don't think we have off. I don't think we ever have off Good Friday. I don't think I ever had off Good Friday when it comes down to, if I was in the union, then yeah, we will have off, but some non-union, I don't think we don't have. So, yeah, I know, man. How you like me? That says, do people get off for Good Friday? It depends. Most of the time, yeah, I would say, but some people do, some people don't. Um, it all just depends on who you work for, and if they observe that day. So, Logan, I have Good Friday every week, says my North Home Solutions. Coleman Studio says, Klein guy, I'm sorry, what's that? Vids have shield wire coming out of them from the rheostats. Some PLCs use shielded wires for communication. Yes, they do. They do have ditto that says William Logan. So yeah, I hope you guys have a good Friday this coming week, and I got a lot of editing to do this week. By the way, speaking of which, about the videos, now guys, if you want to vote for the two tools that I posted on the poll from my last tool review Tuesday on the Milwaukee lanyard tool review, if you check all the way down at the end of that video, after the outro, you'll see the link above showing the poll. Now, I try to get access to that, but fortunately, I don't have that section. There's a section called the community section on if you ever go on like a YouTube creator or such, like for instance, VCG Construction has a community tab. I don't have that on my homepage. Apparently, it only, from what I read, it only was a beta test, and those who get to use it early enough will get to keep that and put out notifications and polls and such. So I wasn't able to get to that. I guess at the time I didn't get a chance to use it, and I don't have it. So if you go down to my discussions section on my channel, I put down the discussions a comment. Just leave your vote on that discussion comment on which tool you would like to see me do a tool review on next. So I put the names up in the discussion section of my channel. So check it out after this video or before you leave. Check it out. Vote on which tool you want to see on my next tool review. I know I was supposed to do the tally ups and tell you who the winner was yesterday, but unfortunately, no one didn't really vote, and I came to find out I didn't have that feature on my channel. It was only limited to a few people who would use it on the beta test, and unfortunately, I wasn't one of those people because I came in later on checking that out, and I missed that. So just go to the discussion, discussion chat section of my channel, my main channel page, and click on that, and then you will see that I left a comment there about the next tool review Tuesday on the vote. So let me know, leave in the comments who you vote for. I'll tally up by tomorrow night, see who's the winner, and I will do a video on that winner. If I'm not able to do the tool review Tuesday this Tuesday, what I will do is I will move it for the following Tuesday, so that way I can get enough footage on it, because it takes time to make these videos out of my day to just edit. It takes a lot of time, and sometimes I work and I travel back and forth to work a lot, I commute, and it's pretty rough. But whenever I get a chance, I do the videos and I try to post them as quickly as possible. Um, so guys, check out the discussion tab on the channel, on the main page channel, and vote for one of the two tools you want to see me do on the next TRT. Those of you who are new to the channel, again, if you like the channel, you like what you see, and you haven't already, subscribe. Hit the bell notifications. I do videos every week. I do some live streams. I even do videos on job site tag-alongs, tool demonstrations, and tool reviews Tuesdays also. Um, so check it out. Um, Smash the like button if you like what you're watching, and let me know in the comment section down below what do you think. Um, what do you think about the channel? What do you think about the video? What do you think about this live stream? And let me know what you do, what trade you're in, or what do you do for a living, and share some insights, share some info about your experiences in the trade, and you know basically what's your day-to-day routine in the trade as well. What you're up to, maybe what big projects you're on. Let me know, and we'll chat it up. So, anyways, guys, let's see here. Come on, we used to have to work Saturday before Good Friday to get it off. Whoa. Yeah, we used to do that too. My uncle, client guy, you have to have certain amount of subs for post and polls. Yeah, I read on that too. But apparently, my wheel roll. What I read about it was that I went on the Google page about it, and they said that it was only available to certain people who were trying it out on the beta testing, and then after a while the trial was over, so there was no more of that. So it didn't say anything about a certain amount of subs, but if that's possible, if I do get like 1,000 or more, then, and if it's if I'm eligible for it, then that'll be great. We'll try it out. We are the Guppies on YouTube, and they are taking opportunity to grow. William says, I want to start making vids, but have no idea how to start, especially editing. There is a good app called Power Director. You can download it on your phone. I feel it's pretty cool on the phone, and it's easy to use. On the desktop, it's got a lot more features on the desktop that you can do than on the app on the phone. But most of my videos I edited were on my phone when I first started out, and they came out pretty good. So you give that a shot, William Logan. Check out Power Director on the mobile app. So you can start off with that, doing videos from your phone, and yeah, let us know. Just you'll have a lot of fun doing them, as I do. Logan, not hard. Any questions? So yeah, William Logan, check out Will Rowe, Minorca Home Solutions. Just check out his email and ask him any questions. He'll walk you through it, buddy. He'll give you a hand. How you let me know says, yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to edit for my son. He wants to do gaming, so I bought a capture card. Got to get a better computer. Yeah, do what you gotta do. But if you gotta use your phone, like I said, you can. Oh, everybody's using their phone to edit videos and stuff, and that's how I started. So yeah, just give it a shot. Not hard for millennials like yourself, but hard for non-tech savvy old folks like me. OMS, you know. I hear you, William Logan. Gen X says, okay. Oops, sorry, bro. Well, how you like me now says, do you have to be on a computer to see discussion tab? I think you do. Yes. Let me just double check on that because I don't think I ever saw it on the app. Real quick, let me see. I do believe it's on. Yeah, no, it's not on the app. Not on mine. So you have to be on a desktop computer to be on the discussions. Um, you can also download Google Chrome on your phone as a default search engine, and you can go on the desktop version of YouTube and then go on my channel, and you'll see the discussion tab, and you can put in your comments. So try that out. You can go to YouTube directly on the desktop version on your phone, and you can still do that. You can still even edit some of your videos on the YouTube channel as well. So, but it's very limited. Um, so yeah, how you like me now? Just go on to YouTube's main desktop page or website when you type it down in the search engine, and then go to my channel, and it should show up on discussions. So it's gonna look a lot smaller in fonts, but you're gonna have to probably like zoom in and then just click on it and then type in your comment and stuff. So check it out. Client guy, my phone just died. I didn't hear any replies. What I said, sorry. It's fine. Don't worry about it, Conan, man. It's fine. Just plug in charge your phone. Don't worry about it. Client guy is good to ask anything. Logan, Nick, and D Niman YouTube. Yes, William Logan. D Niman is pretty cool. He's got some really helpful tips. He helped me out do some thumbnails actually. Use an app called Canva. It's a really cool app if you guys want to do like a still thumbnail, like what I do for my Sunday Funday thumbnails. You'll see it says Sunday Funday in the background. It has like Manhattan. That photo background was taken by me when I was on the Staten Island ferry because I needed a good thumbnail for this, and I designed that through the app, so it worked really well. It's a pretty cool, handy app. He gives you good tips on how to edit your videos and what to use to edit your videos and such. So it's pretty cool. He's got a pretty cool channel there. I definitely need to buy a new computer. I'm running Win 7. That's almost 10 years old. Whoa. I'm an 80s kid, says Stephen Lee. 83 here, says my North Solution. William Logan says, I'm a 50s kid. That's Stephen Lee. Minorca says, I'm on the edge of Gen X. Don't make me a millennial. When are you coming to Tampa? Says Conan Man Studios. How you like me now? Says, only got a year on me, Minorca. Man, Kona, actually sometime this summer, says Minorca. How you like me? Okay, how you like me now? All right, guys. So listen up, guys. I'm glad that you guys are showing up to the channel. I really appreciate everyone here for showing up and hanging out with me, asking questions, getting questions answered by everyone in the chat. I'd like to give a special thanks to William Logan, Minorca Home Solutions, and of course, we did have King of the Crease here as well. Those are the moderators to this live stream chat. Thanks for guys for keeping it G rated. William Stephen Lee says, well, that's right. Oh, old man syndrome said, oh, that's like, hell, you said it, Wiro. I'd like to thank everybody who's joined in. Smash that like button if you like, the Sunday Funday Q&As. If you like to keep doing it, smash the like button. Leave a comment section down below if there's any questions that I missed in the chat. Leave in the comment section down below after the video. I will try to answer the questions as soon as I can, or as much knowledge as I can, depending on the question or what the question is. Wiro, let me know. Maybe we get together in the original Hooters or Wing House or the original Outback. Hey, there you go. Coneman Studios and Wiro are gonna link up one day. That's pretty cool. See, things like this, you make friends on YouTube as well. You get together, trade. This is an awesome community, guys. This is a great platform to be on to do these things, and it's an awesome community. Just remember, guys, we're not just building this country. We're not just tradesmen who build this country. We're actually building the world to try to make it a better place. Um, don't forget, we got guys like Chris Conco Vlogs, who's from Canada, who's in the construction industry. We got William Logan. We got you know we got guys like Tokyo Drew, who lives out in Tokyo, Japan. You know, um, we got guys from Australia. We got guys from Brazil. We got tradesmen from all over the world who come to either my channel, to VCG, or to Chris Congo Vlogs, or to Finish Carpentry TV. These are guys who want to be informed, who want to look for tips, who want to look, ask questions, get information, and just basically just like you know help each other, help one another out in this in this universe of tradesmen. So, guys, just always remember, we're all here to help one another out. This is the coolest community. Like I said, this is an awesome community, and like I said, I appreciate every single one of you. I hope everybody's gonna enjoy the rest of your weekend. I hope everybody's gonna have a great work week. Minorca, you're funny, man. I'm getting 3 days free with my points after that trip. Awesome stream, John. Thank you. No problem. Stephen Lee, thank you for joining in, buddy. Minorca was a good night, everyone, says Minorca. Good night, Minorca, aka Wheel Row. William Logan says, I had a great time tonight, John. Thanks for a great live stream. You bet, William Logan. Conan Man Studios, if you guys forgot, press the like button on your way out. Listen, you don't like the like, you don't just like hitting the like button. You don't smash the like button, you punch the like button. Later, everyone, says William Logan. Yo, everybody, have a good night. And always remember, keep safe on the job site, watch each other's back, and I'll see you guys all on the next one. Take care, guys. Have a good night.